Welcome to Body Signals Lab. In our playlist, Body Foundations, the Human User Manual, we've helped you understand that your body is not random or fragile. It is a complete, intelligent system made up of 11 major organs, working like 11 interconnected systems inside the most advanced factory in the world, your body. In this video, I'd like to talk with you about what a truly healthy body really means, and more importantly, how we can build lasting health over time, not just for today, but for the years ahead. Many people say to me, "Doctor, I don't have any disease, so I must be healthy." That sounds reasonable. In fact, it's one of the most common ways people think about health. We often judge our health using very simple standards. Do I go to the hospital? Do I take daily medication? Has a doctor diagnosed me with anything? But in real medical practice, having no diagnosis does not always mean being truly healthy. The human body does not work like an on-off switch. It's not good simply because it hasn't broken down yet. And problems don't only exist once a disease has a name. Your body is more like a highly sophisticated system that runs continuously, every day, every hour, every minute, even while you're sleeping. When this system is working smoothly, you feel light in your body. Your mind is clear. You have steady energy for daily life. You sleep well, eat well, and find enjoyment in ordinary moments. But when the system starts to lose balance, even before any disease can be diagnosed, your body quietly sends signals. Those signals might show up as feeling more tired than usual, having trouble focusing, sleeping lightly, feeling irritable, or simply sensing that you're not as well as you used to be. Many people ignore these signs, assuming they're just part of aging, a busy schedule, or temporary stress. But in medicine, these early signals are often the body's most important messages. Think of a car that has been driven for many years. The engine still runs. The car still moves and gets you from point A to point B. But when you press the gas pedal, it feels heavier. The brakes don't respond as smoothly. Long drives leave the engine overheated and worn out. The car isn't broken, but it's clearly no longer operating at its best. And if it continues without maintenance or adjustment, problems will eventually appear. Our bodies work the same way. Health is not just about whether we end up in a hospital. It's about whether our body is operating in harmony. When that harmony is present, we work more efficiently, communicate better, and enjoy life more fully. When harmony is lost, quality of life declines, sometimes significantly, even when lab results still fall within normal ranges. In modern life, we're very good at earning money, shopping, upgrading our homes, cars, and devices, everything outside the body. But there is one truth that applies to everyone, without exception. Health cannot be bought. Money can give us access to better medical care, modern medications, and advanced diagnostic tools. But it cannot replace the body's most basic biological needs: adequate sleep, regular movement, balanced nutrition, and a stable, calm state of mind. Health does not come from one big decision like, starting next week, I'll live healthier. Instead, it comes from thousands of small choices repeated every day. Do we eat late at night or go to bed a little earlier? Do we sit for another hour or stand up and move for a few minutes? Do we continue worrying about things we can't control, or pause, breathe, and release some of that pressure? Over time, these small choices build the foundation of health. Many people believe that taking care of health is complicated, that it requires doing many things at once, following strict rules, or making drastic changes. In reality, whole body health begins with a very simple understanding. The body is a unified system. It's not just the heart, liver, lungs, cholesterol levels, or blood sugar numbers. It also includes emotions, thoughts, memories, social connections, and the way we perceive our own lives. When one part of the system becomes imbalanced, the rest cannot remain unaffected. In medicine, we often emphasize an important principle. There is not just disease. There is a person with disease. Two people may receive the same medical diagnosis, yet the underlying causes and the paths to recovery can be completely different. One person may feel exhausted due to irregular eating patterns, another because of long-term unrecognized stress, another from lack of movement and prolonged sitting, and another from living in constant worry, fear, or uncertainty. If we focus only on test results and ignore the person behind those numbers, we miss what truly matters. Effective healthcare is not about chasing numbers. It's about understanding the context of a person's life. One organ that is often overlooked in healthcare is the brain. We talk a lot about the heart, liver, cholesterol, and blood sugar, but forget that the brain coordinates everything. The brain doesn't just help us think. It regulates sleep, emotions, hormones, reflexes, and countless biological processes. The brain is like a muscle. If it's not used, it gradually weakens. When stimulated appropriately, it can remain flexible and resilient for a very long time. Reading, thinking, learning something new, making connections, having meaningful conversations. These are all ways of exercising the brain. They are not luxuries. They are natural needs of the brain. I've met many people after retirement whose daily lives revolve only around television and smartphones. Within just a few years, they noticed declining memory, slower thinking, and reduced interest in the world around them. In contrast, those who continue reading, learning, talking, and even revisiting basic knowledge often remain mentally sharp and find deeper meaning in life. This is not a miracle. It's normal brain biology responding to proper use. Beyond the brain, another key factor in modern health is metabolism. We live in a world of abundance. Too much food, too much energy, too much information, and constant stimulation. Yet the human body evolved to adapt well to short periods of scarcity, not prolonged excess. When we eat continuously, move very little, sleep late, and live under constant stress, the body becomes overworked. Over time, metabolic systems slow down, become less flexible, and lose efficiency. A common misconception is that metabolic problems only affect people who are overweight. In reality, many thin individuals still experience fatigue, high cholesterol, fatty liver, or metabolic imbalance. The issue is not appearance. It's how the body processes energy internally. When the body no longer has time to rest or recover, it sends signals of exhaustion, regardless of weight changes. Once we understand that the body is a system that runs continuously, and that fatigue or imbalance doesn't always come with the name of a disease, the next question naturally becomes, what can we do to help the body function better every day? The answer doesn't lie in extreme solutions. It lies in helping the body return to its natural biological rhythm. One of the most important things the modern body is missing is rest. And not just rest for the muscles, but rest for the digestive system, the metabolic system, and the nervous system as well. Over the past few decades, our fast-paced lifestyle has trained us to eat constantly, snacking all day, eating while working, eating while looking at screens. For the body, there is almost no true off time. When there is no break, the metabolic system has to keep working nonstop. That's one of the main reasons so many people feel tired all the time, even though they eat regularly and eat enough. From this perspective, ideas like intermittent fasting or eating with clear breaks start to make sense. The key point here is not fasting, as in suffering or forcing yourself to endure hunger. The real goal is simply to create periods of time when the body doesn't have to process food. When the body gets those breaks, it has a chance to reorganize energy, rebalance hormones, and repair internal processes. Many people notice that when they start eating at more regular times, eating more simply, and stopping the habit of constant snacking, they feel more alert, lighter in their body, and sleep better, even if their total food intake doesn't change very much. That said, it's important to be clear. Fasting is not about skipping meals randomly or pushing the body into exhaustion. Fasting only works when it's done with understanding and with attention to how your body responds. Some people do well with 2 clear meals a day. Others need 3 smaller meals, but still with proper breaks in between. There is no single formula that works for everyone. What matters most is rhythm, not strictness. When we talk about modern health, there is one concept that's especially important to understand: insulin resistance. I want to explain this in the simplest, least technical way possible, so it's easy to understand and apply in daily life. Insulin is a hormone that helps move energy, specifically sugar, from the bloodstream into the cells, where the cells can use it. You can imagine insulin like a delivery person, bringing energy to each cellular home. When this system works smoothly, cells get the energy they need, and we feel steady, clear-headed, and physically capable throughout the day. In modern life, however, when we eat frequently and consume foods that are high in energy but low in nutrients, the body has to release insulin over and over again, all day long. Over time, the cells start to become less responsive. They stop opening the door as easily. Even though insulin is still present, energy doesn't enter the cells the way it should. This is what we call insulin resistance. When cells don't receive enough usable energy, the body quietly enters a frustrating cycle. There may be plenty of sugar in the blood, but the cells are still hungry. From the outside, someone may look like they eat normally, or even eat a lot, but on the inside, they feel tired, sluggish, and low on energy. Many modern health problems grow out of this state. Not suddenly, but gradually, over many years. It's important to understand that insulin resistance isn't just linked to one specific disease. It's more like a central knot in the system. When energy isn't used properly, metabolism becomes inefficient, and organs have to work harder to compensate. Over time, the body becomes more sensitive to fatigue, low-grade inflammation, and reduced self-regulation. So, what can we do to support the body in this situation? In addition to eating with rhythm and giving the digestive system breaks, movement plays a very important role. Here, I want to highlight a particular type of movement that aligns well with human physiology: short, intermittent, effort-based movement. This does not mean intense workouts or pushing yourself to exhaustion. It means moving in short bursts, just enough to wake up the heart and muscles, followed by relaxation and rest. You can think of it like knocking on a door. Knock firmly enough to be heard, then stop, instead of knocking nonstop. When we move this way, the body is encouraged to use stored energy inside the cells. This helps the cells become more willing to open up and receive energy again. In simple terms, short bursts of effort act like a second key, helping insulin do its job. Just a few minutes of this kind of movement, practiced consistently, can help the body relearn how to use energy more efficiently. Many people believe that getting healthy requires long, exhausting workouts. In reality, especially for adults and older individuals, what matters more is moving in a way that fits the body's rhythm, not pushing too hard. When movement is appropriate, the body feels better afterward, not drained. That's a sign the body is cooperating, not resisting. Beyond food and movement, another factor that's often overlooked but deeply important is micronutrients. The body doesn't just need calories, it needs small, specific elements to keep systems running smoothly. Magnesium, for example, is involved in many processes related to nerves, muscles, and energy. When stress is ongoing, magnesium is used up more quickly. This is why many people under chronic stress experience fatigue, muscle tension, shallow sleep, and difficulty relaxing. Calcium and vitamin D are not only about bones, they also affect muscles, nerves, and immune function. That said, supplementation alone is not the full answer. What matters just as much is reducing the factors that drain these nutrients, especially chronic stress. When we live in constant worry, fear, or time pressure, the body stays in a continuous alert mode. This mode consumes energy and nutrients rapidly and makes it harder for the immune system to function smoothly. When stress is reduced, even slightly, the body begins to conserve these valuable resources. The immune system no longer has to overreact and can work in a calmer, more balanced way. This is why people who live more steadily often get sick less often, even if they're not doing anything particularly extreme or special. In modern society, it's very easy to live in a state of too much, eating too much, thinking too much, worrying too much, working too much, and expecting too much from ourselves. The human body was not designed to sustain too much indefinitely. It needs balance. Living with a sense of enough doesn't mean deprivation. It means knowing what is enough for your body and mind. Eating enough to nourish, not to numb emotions. Moving enough to stay flexible, not to punish yourself. Working enough to feel purpose, not to the point of exhaustion. Resting enough to recover, without guilt. When we begin to live this way, something interesting happens. The body starts cooperating again. Sleep becomes deeper. Hunger and fullness signals become clearer. Energy becomes more stable throughout the day. Most importantly, we start noticing the body's small signals earlier, before problems grow too large. A very simple example is a family meal. When we eat in a rush while working or scrolling on a screen, the body doesn't fully receive the meal. But when we slow down, eat with others, and share conversation, digestion improves, and the mind is nourished as well. The meal becomes more than fuel. It becomes a stabilizing ritual. Health, then, is not a short-term project. It's a way of living. It doesn't require changing everything at once. By adding just a little more rest, a bit of appropriate movement, and reducing a little excess in daily life, the body gradually responds with more balance and ease. When we eat with rhythm, move with moderation, and live with a sense of enough, health no longer feels like a distant goal. It becomes something we feel every day: a lighter body, a clearer mind, and a life with a natural rhythm. And that is the foundation of whole body health we strive to share here at Body Signals Lab. If you're new to Body Signals Lab, or if you feel that some of today's ideas are just beginning to click, I highly recommend going back to our playlist, Body Foundations – The Human User Manual. In that series, we walk through the structure of the human body step by step, how each organ system works, how they connect with one another, and why the body should be understood as one complete, intelligent system, not as separate parts. When you understand how your body is built, it becomes much easier to understand why it sends certain signals and what those signals are trying to tell you. In our next video, we'll go one step further. We'll begin decoding the body's signals, things like fatigue, poor sleep, brain fog, tension, digestive discomfort, and low energy. These are not random problems. They are messages. And when we learn to recognize them early and respond correctly, we can often make simple adjustments before small imbalances turn into bigger issues. My goal here is not to tell you what to fear, but to help you understand what your body is already communicating quietly every day, and how to support it in a timely, respectful way. Please subscribe to the channel. Think of this channel as a calm, steady place to learn how your body works, how to listen to it, and how to care for it with confidence over time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video here at Body Signals Lab.